What's up, family? I want to have a real heart to heart with you guys. This one's going to be kind of deep to some of you, but it's an essential conversation that we need to have. Right off the bat, I want to talk about three different points. They all pertain to each other, and I'm tied all together. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere on this one. It's going to take me a minute to get there, but trust me, stay with me. First and foremost, I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm not here to debate, argue anything with anyone. That's not why I make videos. That's not why I share information. You can accept it, reject it, embrace it. It don't matter to me. It's just information that I'm passing along. You know what I mean? Do you? Second point. When you can't control a person or a movement, then you have to control the narrative. You have to change the narrative. You have to change the storyline. Third point. Being woke and being enlightened have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Being woke and enlightened are not synonymous. They don't mean the same thing in any way, shape, or form. Here we go. Stay with me. I get asked a lot, man, brother, how can you be a Mason? And not just a Mason, you're up there. You're not no third degree master Mason. You're like 32nd degree Mason. How can you be that? That's the Illuminati. That's devil worship. That's satanic. And that's blah, 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 blah. Family. First and foremost, I've been a 32nd degree master Mason for close to 30 years. Close to 30 years. It's not a whole lot you're going to tell me that I haven't already heard. If anything, that I haven't already heard. Read. Second thing, when you can't control a person or a group, you have to change the narrative. Illuminati. The term Illuminati means the enlightened ones. The enlightened ones. You have to understand what the enlightened ones represented. When you can't control a person or a movement, you have to change the narrative. You have to change the storyline. You have to change the meaning. Talking about the Illuminati. The Illuminati means the enlightened ones. But for some reason, in our mind, we see the Illuminati as the power brokers in the music industry, in the movie industry, in the government, you know, the movers and shakers. You know, Jay-Z, Beyonce, you know, all them people. We see all those people as Illuminati. Nothing could be more ignorant than that right there. And I mean that with all due respect to them individuals. That is completely ignorant. Again, the term Illuminati means the enlightened ones. What was their purpose? What was their agenda? What was the agenda of the Illuminati? When you understand its purpose, then you can understand how. That's why they switched it up. That's why they changed the meaning of it. When you understand their purpose, you understand that all these people ain't got nothing to do with the Illuminati. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. The Bavarian Illuminati was established in 1776. They had one major goal. In order to accomplish that goal, they had to do two other things simultaneously. Their main goal was to stop the spread of superstition, i.e., ignorance. Stop the spread of ignorance. How could they stop the spread of ignorance? In order to stop the spread of ignorance in 1776, stay with me, they had to stop the control, the manipulation of the religious groups in our everyday lives. The religious group had too much power, too much influence in our everyday lives. So they had to stop that because the enlightened ones said that the religious groups were abusing their power and manipulating and controlling the people and dumbing down the people so that they could stay in power and so that they could get wealthier. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. The other thing that the Illuminati, the enlightened ones, wanted to do was, or felt like they needed to do, was stop the spread or the overreaching power of the government in your everyday life. So the Illuminati said that the government and the religious groups were dumbing down the people. The government and the religious group was manipulating and controlling the people. And because they was doing that, they were dumbing the people down. Why? So that those two groups could stay in power. Why? So that those two groups could amass great wealth and power by their manipulation and control. And so the enlightened ones wanted to wake the people up. More than 2,000 years ago, you had these same types of Illuminati groups doing the exact same thing, trying to wake up the masses because they were being controlled by the church and the military might at that time with the Roman church. The Roman church had a powerful military, and those two entities controlled the masses of the people and dumbed them down and manipulated them and controlled them and gained extreme wealth, massive wealth off the backs of the masses. And the enlightened ones wanted to wake the people up to what was going on. When you look at every enlightened individual that's walked this planet, whether you want to say it was Jesus, whether it was Buddha, whoever, every single one of them came and stood in the purpose of trying to awaken the masses of the people to who they really were and to stop the spread of superstition or ignorance and to stop the manipulation and control of the government and the religious groups in their everyday lives. That's what the enlightened ones came to do, was to free the minds of the masses. And so what the government and the religious groups did was they switched that and said that the term Illuminati means the powers to be, or the power brokers, the movers and shakers, those that are in control of the government, the deep state, those in control of the music industry, those in control of the movie industry. That's the Illuminati. That's not the Illuminati, family. It's never been the Illuminati. You've been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. You've been led astray. My hope and prayer is that you start doing your own due diligence. Stop reading the books that these people tell you to read because they have an agenda to push. And their agenda is to stay in power. And the only way that they can stay in power is by keeping you dumbed down to the facts. The only way they can stay in power is keeping you dumbed down to reality. They keep you looking at this over here as this is the enemy. Why? Because this over here ain't got jack to do with what's going on. Because they don't want you to learn. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to become aware, self aware of who you really are, of the power that you truly possess within you. That's their greatest fear, is that you are waking up or that you wake up and come into that enlightenment. And so they've given you the term woke to make you, and they've told you that means enlightened. Woke don't mean enlightened. Woke and enlightened ain't got nothing to do with each other. You could be woke and not doing anything productive. You could be woke and not doing anything beneficial, not growing and developing, not giving back to society, not doing anything. Woke and enlightenment are not the same thing. But these groups have told you that you're woke. This is the woke generation. And this generation is the most confused generation. Because you can't tell this generation anything because they're convinced that they're woke. And they're convinced that being woke is being enlightened. This generation knows more about so much other stuff that's completely useless and meaningless to why they are here as an individual. You could tell me everything about the Ankh and what it represents and the symbology and Kemet and all these other places. You could tell me about all the ancient schools in Egypt. You could tell me about Lemuria and Atlantis and Nibiru. And you could tell me about all this crazy stuff. And I love that stuff. I study that stuff. But if I can't tell you why I'm here, then none of that other stuff that I studied is meaningful. If you're not studying, if you're not learning why you're here, if you're not understanding why you have anger issues, why you have low self esteem, why you have insecurities, why you sabotage yourself, why you hate yourself subconsciously, if you're not understanding all of these things, if you're not understanding why you have an addictive personality, why you have anger issues, why you're so full of jealousy and rage, why you're a secret hater, if you can't say or understand why you do any of this stuff right here, none of that other stuff you study has been beneficial to you in any way, shape, or form. It's all been a distraction. It's all a distraction. All to keep you from becoming self aware, to keep you from becoming aware of why you're here, what your purpose is, why you're here. Don't miss that, family. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.